Hey crafters! Happy spring! Even though it doesn't feel like that really out there today, but spring is definitely coming. And I always like to do a little bit of a closet refresh as the seasons are changing. And of course, my favorite place to shop is the thrift store. I've definitely been doing a little bit of thrifting lately, and I've also been planning some spring projects to keep me creatively inspired, and also maybe take a few of my thrifted pieces and transform them or upcycle them into some pieces that are maybe a little more unique, or maybe that work with some flaws that the garments came with, or maybe even fit my body better than the originals did. I'll show you some of the pieces I thrifted and some of the ways I'm thinking that we can upcycle them into something new. Maybe you'll even get inspired to try a little bit of thrift flipping yourself. Maybe hit the thrift store, maybe shop your own closet, find a few things that could be transformed into something new. And of course, if you love projects like this, definitely check out some of my DIY, upcycle, refashion playlists here on the channel, because these are some of my favorite projects and I do them whenever I can. Come along on the crafting adventure. I'll show you those pieces we're working with and we'll get started. Let's get thrift flipping. Well guys, when I found this ball cap at a thrift store, I nabbed it. Oh man, it is 100% cotton. It's in great shape. It's just a basic ball cap. But, hey, perfect for an upcycle project, right? My first thought was to tie-dye it. And you know I love a good old tie-dye ball cap. But then I was going through my craft stash. Oh my gosh. And I found these appliques. I think they're vintage. I got them secondhand. But you can still get, little patches. Little appliques. Maybe not exactly like this. But, you can still get these things. And holy moly, they coordinate. I've had these things for years and didn't know what to do with them. Well, I think it was meant to be. I think I got to attach these to this ball cap. And if you guys remember my project from this summer where I DIY'd my own souvenirs, well, you know that I stitched on some larger patches to a similar ball cap. And that was a lot of fun. I will link to that project down below because I kind of talked through some of the tools that I used for stitching on a larger patch. But since these are so small, I want to try an experiment. I want to try gluing them. I think it should work. These are relatively small and they are pretty flexible. Judging from the ones I've used in the past, they're made of thread. They don't have an iron-on backing to them. And so I think they're soft enough that I could, get a bunch of glue into the fibers and then squish it onto the hat, get it to stay. I think that should work for us. To start off with, I'm going to be using one of my disappearing fabric pens. I think I'll be using that purple end. And I just want to go over the hat and, make some dots and kind of figure out where I want to put these things, because I've only got about 10 of them. And I want to kind of scatter them evenly over the hat. But I think, oh my gosh, once glued on there, it could be so cute. If I didn't have these in my craft stash, I was thinking of using some really tiny little daisies. I thought daisies would be adorable on this too. So many ideas. Ooh, hearts would be cute too. Oh my gosh. Hey, well, I'm going to get out my pen. I'm going to take these off of the cardboard backing, and I'm going to get to trying this. Well, you guys, I thrifted this very cool dark green waffle knit. I think it's called a Henley. Is it called a Henley? T-shirt a couple weeks ago. And I've actually been wanting to get some shirts like this. I did notice it is missing a button. Thankfully, there is a button sewn into the hem, which is very cool. I really like this waffle knit. It is a little worn, a little faded. I kind of like the earthiness of it. I've been wanting a shirt like this, so I went for it. However, it wasn't until I got it home that I noticed it's got a pretty big bleach patchy stain kind of on the elbow. Like, it's pretty noticeable when you're wearing the shirt. So I was thinking, wow, it is cotton. I could dye it, but this is pretty dark green, so I'd have to dye it something really dark. I could paint it, but the paint may not, I'd have to paint something pretty bright and dark over that bleachy bit. Then the next thought was, well, what if I bleached it? Hey, let's think about that. So I gathered some supplies, and I am thinking, what if I tie up the shirt using some rubber bands, kind of like I would for tie-dye, and then make a diluted bleach solution in my designated spray bottle, and spritz it on the garment and see if I can't kind of make some cool kind of tie-dyed bleach pattern. Theoretically, I think it could be awesome, but in reality, it could also completely fail. I have not had full success with bleaching or like reverse dyeing. On one occasion, I used really inexpensive cotton t-shirts and bleach just ate a hole in it. Another time, well, actually a couple times, I have sprayed bleach on items and the item didn't bleach. Now, I know that you can have bleach for a while and sometimes it can lose its bleachiness. Mine is a couple years old. So is it going to work? I don't know. There are some really cool tutorials out there. If I find any good ones, I'll link them down below. But from what I'm remembering, I think I do want to just dilute the bleach pretty significantly. I think I will start by diluting it so that I have 1 part bleach and then 2 parts water. So basically the bleach is 1/3 of what I've got. I could also do like the bleach being like half and then the water being half. I think I'm going to start low. Start with a little bit of bleach and leave it on for kind of a small amount of time. At least as small amount of time as possible. I don't have to get it totally bleached white like this, but just enough to kind of show a pattern. I don't know. That's my goal, guys. I'm going to get to doing some tying, and then I think I'm going to actually take this shirt to my bathtub, put on some really old clothes and some gloves, and turn on all the fans and open some windows and stuff, and try a little bit of this. Of course, always safety first, folks, when we're dealing with chemicals like this and all those good things. So, read the labels, be careful, take all the precautions. I probably should get some eye covering while I'm doing this too. Yeah, so safety first, guys, safety first. I'm gonna tie up this shirt and give this a try. Fingers crossed. Okay guys, it's been about 5 or 6 minutes and I'm starting to see a little bit of variation. Sorry, the light in here is bad. See how like it looks a little lighter, maybe like over there, a little bit on the edges. I think what I'm gonna do is spritz on a little bit more and let it sit for 10 more minutes and show you what that looks like. It seems like with this shirt, maybe I could have gone with a stronger bleach because this is not bleaching very quickly, but better to be safe than sorry, right? Okay, I'll show you in about 10 minutes after we've got a little more bleach on here. Okay, 10 more minutes with some more bleach. You know, the edges are definitely looking lighter than you see the inside part. Okay, so we're getting some stuff happening. I think what I'm going to do is mix up a little bit more bleach and water solution, but this time I'll go about 50-50. I think I'm gonna spritz the garment one last time, and then I think I'll let it sit for like 10 more minutes, and I think I gotta wash this out before the bleach does too much. So fingers crossed that we get maybe a little bit more definition with this. That would be nice, but I also don't want to completely destroy the fabric. Okay, talk to you in about 10 minutes. Okay guys, I actually left this more concentrated bleach on here for closer to 25 minutes. I was gonna do less than that, but I'm definitely seeing some bleaching happen. I think that really bright white spot there is the original bleach spot, but the rest is kind of getting this like almost mauve foggy look going on. And of course there's some spots where I dripped the bleach from the spray bottle, and so those are there. I think I could better wash this thing out. I'm gonna use a whole bunch of soap and water and get as much, get the bleach out of here. Gonna wash it out by hand, and then I will launder the shirt, and once it's dry I'll have to show you what it looks like. Well, you guys, it worked. Oh my gosh, here's our shirt. So interesting how the bleach bleached the fabric almost to this like light blue. The most bleached areas are more white, which is super cool. Seems like that stronger bleach concoction was really what we needed for this garment anyway. I would still suggest starting with less and see what happens. This is that original spot I needed to cover, and I still didn't get the surrounding bleach as light as that, but it is, let's see a little bit. It is kind of, worked into the pattern, which I think is good. I was really scared about keeping the bleach on there too long, so I'm okay with it. I do have a couple places where my spray bottle dripped, and those are kind of darker. I had a hard time wearing gloves and using that little spray bottle. I kept getting extra built up and having it drip a bit, but it's okay. Here's the back. Yeah, got some good stripes on the back. Let me flip this shirt over so you can see the back. And here's the back. Yeah, we got some really cool patterns on the back. Wow, that's awesome. Of course, I still need to sew on that button that's missing on the back. Thankfully, there is an extra one sewn into the seam. I love that. Thank you, extra buttons. Well, you guys, while I do that, it's the perfect time for you to give this video a thumbs up. If you get behind taking something that has maybe been bleached, or isn't in good shape, or isn't the right color, or whatever, and upcycling it, and having fun with the process. And of course, consider subscribing, because you never know what we're up to around here on Partners in Craft. We love upcycling, so there will be more coming soon. I will get to button sewing, and then I will show you a couple of these pieces put together and how I'm wearing them.